Hello viewers, welcome back to our channel Career Prep. Today we'll learn about ratio and proportion. Ratio and proportion are two important concepts which form the foundation to understand the various concepts in mathematics as well as in science. So understand the concept of ratio and proportion clearly to answer questions not only on this topic but also from other topics easily. Since questions based on these topics are most frequently asked in competitive exams, it makes sense to understand the concept well. These questions are the ones where marks can be scored easily if practiced well. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel. Also press the bell icon to get notifications as soon as we post a new video. So let's start. Before we go into the concept of ratio and proportion, let's understand the importance of ratio and proportion in mathematics. Ratio and proportion is the heart of mathematics. Understand this chapter thoroughly and you'll be able to solve most problems in mathematics. Ratio and proportion has applications in most problems of the chapters like time, speed and distance, time, work and wages, partnership and shares, simple interest and so on. So what is a ratio? A ratio is a comparison of two numbers by division. Ratio is used for comparing two quantities of the same kind. This relation indicates how many times one quantity is equal to the other quantity. The two numbers in a ratio can only be compared when they have the same unit. The sign used to denote a ratio is a colon. The ratio of A to B is written as A colon B and is read as A is to B. A ratio can be represented in three different forms such as A to B, A is to B, and A by B. Let's understand the term ratio with an example. If there is one boy and three girls, you could write the ratio as 1 is to 3. This means for every one boy, there are 3 girls. Now, this ratio 1 is to 3 can be written as a fraction as 1 by 4 are boys and 3 by 4 are girls. This means that out of every 4 children, one child is a boy, and out of every 4 children, 3 children are girls. Now the ratio 1 is to 3 can also be written as a decimal as 0.25 are boys and 0.75 are girls. The ratio 1 is to 3 can be written as a percentage as 25% are boys and 75% are girls. In the ratio A is to B, A and B are called the terms of the ratio. A is the antecedent and B is the consequent. If two numbers are in the ratio 3 is to 5, it means for every 3 units of the antecedent, that's the first number, there are 5 units of the consequent, that's the second number. If two numbers are in the ratio A is to B, then this ratio has to be multiplied with the number k to get the actual numbers. K is known as the multiplication factor. The order of the terms in a ratio is very important. A is to B is different from B is to A. Let's learn how to divide a given number in the given ratio. If A is to be divided into two parts in the ratio A1 is to A2, then the first part is equal to A1 divided by A1 plus A2 multiplied by A. And second part is equal to A2 divided by A1 plus A2 multiplied by A. If A is to be divided into more than two parts in the ratio A1 is to A2 is to A3 is to A4 and so on, then value of any part is equal to its related ratio term divided by A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 and so on multiplied by A. For example, if you have to find the value of the third part, then the third part is equal to A3 divided by A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 and so on multiplied by A. Understand this concept very clearly because this is used while solving many problems in ratio and proportion. Let's learn how to compare ratios. Let A is to B and C is to D be two ratios. Then A is to B is greater than C is to D if AD is greater than BC. A is to B is less than C is to D if AD is less than BC. A is to B is equal to C is to D if AD is equal to BC. For example, which of the following ratios is greater? 3 is to 4 or 1 is to 2? Now to find out which of these two ratios is greater, multiply 3 and 2. Also multiply 4 and 1. So 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. 4 multiplied by 1 is 4. Since 6 is greater than 4, 3 is to 4 is greater than 1 is to 2. Let's learn the effect of addition of the same positive integer to both the terms of the ratio. If A by B is equal to 1, then A plus Y divided by B plus Y is nothing but A by B, which is equal to 1. So addition of Y does not affect the ratio equal to 1. If A by B is greater than 1, then A plus Y divided by B plus Y will be less than A by B. So the addition of Y decreases the ratio greater than 1. If A by B is less than 1, then A plus Y divided by B plus Y is greater than A by B. So addition of Y increases the ratio lesser than 1. Let's understand the effect of subtraction of the same positive integer from both the terms of the ratio. If A by B is equal to 1, then A minus Y divided by B minus Y will be the same as A by B, which is equal to 1. So subtraction of Y does not affect the ratio equal to 1. If A by B is greater than 1, then A minus Y divided by B minus Y will be greater than A by B. So subtraction of Y increases the ratio greater than 1. If A by B is less than 1, then A minus Y divided by B minus Y will be less than A by B. So subtraction of Y decreases the ratio lesser than 1. Let's understand the concept of a compound ratio, a duplicate ratio and a triplicate ratio. When two or more ratios are multiplied, the new ratio thus obtained is called the compound ratio. The compound ratio of the ratios A is to B, C is to D, and E is to F is ACE is to BDF. The duplicate ratio of A is to B is A squared is to B squared. Subduplicate ratio of A is to B is square root of A is to square root of B, which is the same as A raised to the power 1 by 2 is to B raised to the power 1 by 2. Triplicate ratio of A is to B is A cubed is to B cubed. Subtriplicate ratio of A is to B is cube root of A is to cube root of B, which is the same as A raised to the power 1 by 3 is to B raised to the power 1 by 3. Now let's understand the concept of proportion. If two ratios are equal, then they are said to be in proportion. Proportions are denoted by the symbol double colon or equal. For example, A is to B is equal to C is to D, or A is to B double colon C is to D. This means that A is to B is proportional to C is to D. Each quantity in a proportion is called a term or proportional. The first and the last terms are called the extremes, whereas the second and the third terms are called the middle terms. So in A is to B is equal to C is to D, A and D are called the extremes and B and C are the middle terms. When four quantities are in proportion, then product of the middle terms is equal to product of the extremes. For example, if A is to B is proportional to C is to D, then BC is equal to AD. This is a very important formula and is used while solving many problems in ratio and proportion. Let's understand the concept of fourth proportional, third proportional, and mean proportional. If A is to B is equal to C is to D, then D is the fourth proportional to A, B, and C. If A is to B is equal to C is to D, then C is the third proportional to A and B. If A is to B is equal to C is to D, then mean proportional between A and B is square root of AB. Here are a few properties of proportion. If A is to B is equal to C is to D, then A plus C is to B plus D. This is called addendo. A minus C is to B minus D. This is subtrahendo. A plus B divided by B is equal to C plus D divided by D. This is called componendo. A minus B divided by B is equal to C minus D divided by D. This is called dividendo. A plus B divided by A minus B is equal to C plus D divided by C minus D. This is componendo and dividendo. A is to C is equal to B is to D. This is alternando. B is to A is equal to D is to C. This is invertendo. Let's understand the concept of direct proportion and inverse proportion. So what is direct proportion? When one variable increases or decreases and the other variable also increases or decreases by the same proportion, then the two variables are said to be in direct proportion. This means if one variable increases, then the other variable also increases by the same proportion, then the two variables are said to be in direct proportion. Or if one variable decreases and the other variable also decreases by the same proportion, then the two variables are said to be in direct proportion. For variables x and y, direct proportion is denoted as x is proportional to y, which means x is directly proportional to y. X is proportional to y means x is equal to ky, where k is a constant. So what is an inverse proportion? When one variable increases and the other decreases by the same proportion, or vice versa, then the two variables are said to be in inverse proportion. For variables x and y, inverse proportion is denoted as x is proportional to 1 by y, which means x is inversely proportional to y. That is, when x increases, y decreases, or when x decreases, then y increases. X is proportional to 1 by y means xy is equal to k, where k is a constant. Now let's understand the concept of continued proportion. Three quantities A, B, C of the same kind are said to be in continued proportion when A is to B is equal to B is to C. Here, the last term, that is C, is said to be the third proportional to the other two terms A and B. In case of a continued proportion, when A is to B is equal to B is to C, then C is equal to B squared divided by A. The middle term B here is the mean proportional to the two extreme terms A and C. In case of a continued proportion, when A is to B is equal to B is to C, then B squared is equal to AC, or B is equal to square root of AC. Let's learn how to find the relation among the quantities when number of quantities is 3. If the ratio between the first and second quantities is A is to B and the ratio between second and third quantities is C is to D, then the ratio among first, second and third quantities is given by AC is to BC is to BD. You can remember this ratio by remembering this diagram. Now, if the ratio between the first and second quantities is A is to B and the ratio between the second and third quantities is C is to D, then write C just below B. Then the ratio among first, second and third quantities can be calculated as AC is to BC is to BD. Now let's learn how to find the relation among the quantities when number of quantities is 4. If the ratio between the first and second quantities is A is to B, the ratio between second and third quantities is C is to D, and the ratio between third and fourth quantities is E is to F, then the ratio among the first, second, third and fourth quantities is ACE is to BCE is to BDE is to BDF. You can remember this ratio by remembering this diagram. So if the ratio between the first and second quantities is A is to B and second and third quantities is C is to D and third and fourth quantities is E is to F, then write A is to B first and then write C below B in the next row and write E below D in the next row. So the ratio among the first, second, third and fourth quantities is given by ACE is to BCE is to BDE is to BDF. Viewers, please go through this video till you have understood the concept. Please do watch our videos on solved problems on ratio and proportion. If you have liked this video, please like, subscribe and share this video. Thank you.